All right. Oh, we got some people. We got a couple people. Oh, you know what? I did a jam track. Let's see if I can find it. Here it is. I don't know how loud this is. 1, 2, slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, well, there it is. So I'm not sure how many rotations. It's probably about 6 to 8 times through the song. It's over 10 minutes. I think it's more like 12 minutes. Hey, Brian. Hey, Ed. Richard Lawson, good to see you. Bob Schumann, always good to see you. Dennis. Hey, Dan, were you at church on Saturday? Lena, what's going on? So I don't know if you saw, I uploaded the chart, I think it last night, or the music last night. The PDF is up at the Discord. Let me get the Discord link, and it's right here. Discord link. Copy. You know what? There's the Discord link. I'm going to, let's see. I've got that jam track for Bill Cheatham. So let me, let's see. Oh, here, let's do this. Right? Copy. So I'm going to put these in the sheet. I'm going to have to copy 3 of them, but Bill Cheatham, 100 BPM in A. And there's that. So I'm saving that. So I'm going to have the, I'll try to put all the jam tracks, well, in the lesson description, at least starting today. So let me go find the other 2, and I'll put those in. And then I think we'll work on this till Friday. So today I think we're going to work on the rhythm of the B section. And then we'll start working on the B section on Wednesday. And then we'll put the 2 together on Friday. We'll try that. And then I think we're going to take a pause from Bluegrass. We'll come back to Bluegrass. I promise. But I think we'll take a pause. We might be losing some people just because it's like, I don't want to hear any more Bluegrass crap. So I think we'll probably go into something a little bit more universal, like strumming grooves. We could feasibly talk about singing and playing at the same time. I'm not exactly sure how to teach that. I'll have to think about that, but that could be something that would be very useful for many of you. So, okay, now let me go to my YouTube channel here, content, and I've got, this is down the Valley to Pray. Okay, so I'm gonna edit. So you should see in the description Down in, I always thought that was a weird title. Down in the valley. Down to the valley. Down to the river. Anyway. Down in the valley to pray. 100 BPM in G. And here's the link. And then the last one is Wildwood Flower. Or the first one, technically. Get shareable link. Copy to clipboard. Wildwood Flower. So now they're all 100 BPM in G. And again, just a reminder, or this may be news to you, but you can change the tempo of the jam track. I did it at 100. That really, really slow, but for some people that's actually too fast. So you can slow it down. There's a little gear in YouTube in the bottom right side. It says settings, and if you click on that, it says playback speed, and it should say normal default. But just know that if you change the speed when you open a new video, it'll still be in that speed. So you have to go back to normal. But it has 0.25, 0.5, 0.75, 1.25, 1.5, 1.75, and 2. The great thing is you can, if you just move the decimal point over two numbers to the right, you'll get the new tempo. So if you put it at 0.75, it's going to be 75 beats per minute. If you put it at 1.5, it's going to be 150 beats per minute. Okay, and I would say 150 would be a great place to be able to play Bill Cheatham. I think you could do it faster than that. Also, on the rhythm track, I used the blue chip pick when I played the guitar. I just did one loop, so it's the same loop over and over again. I didn't play it for 12 minutes. I just did it this morning because it's a process. I have to open up Logic, create a bass line that matches, record the guitar, and then I basically hit the last chord, chop off that last chord, drag it to the end, however long, if I want it for 10 minutes, 12 minutes, whatever. And there's a count off in there, and then I just loop those. In this case, it was 32 bars. And so I think it goes through it about 6-7 times. Do I have the Logic still open? I don't. Maybe 8 times through the whole progression. And, excuse me. And then what I do is I bounce that as an MP3, and then I drop it into iMovie, and then I've got this, card here that's like Fabric, black type. I type in the chord changes, the name of the song and everything. And then I bounce that, and then once that's bounced, that takes a few minutes, and then I upload that to YouTube, and that takes a few minutes. And I'm not setting it for private. I'm setting it for unlisted, so it won't be on these videos at this moment will not be on my YouTube channel per se. So mainly because I just don't want to clog it with unnecessary jams. I mean, it's I could redo these and do it if I feel like there would be a lot of, because people might want Bill Cheatham jam tracks, and there are people that do them, like the Flat Pick Apprentice. But here's the problem: I did all of that, and I realized I did it in G without the capo on the second fret, so I had to do it all over again. So I've done it twice already this morning, so hopefully I got it right. And the notation is in G because we're capoed at the first fret, the tabs in G, everything, but we're technically truly in A. Okay. And so let me play along with this. Let's see. I can do this here. Let's see if I have enough volume. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And so that is one time through the song. Everything's done twice. It's AABB song form. And then at the end, it just ends on a G chord. Probably, to be honest, the song form might be AABBA or something like that. I'm not sure. I should probably watch more versions of it. Hey, John, hello in London there. I was just talking to my friend in London, just chatting with him. Well, actually, he's in Miami right now. My London friend, they're in Miami. Let's see. Any questions? You guys don't ask many questions. So like I said, we're going to work on this week, the next 3 videos, I think, assuming, we keep, just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Thanks, Bruce, for hitting up the new viewers. Yeah, do a shout out too if you're new, but you don't have to. If you like lurking, that's fine. Generally, I mean, if I did a count here, Tony Truman, what's going on? You're new. Generally, we'll have probably 50% of the viewers at the moment on the chat, so it's a pretty good turnout in that regard. Got my coffee, although it's a little on the low side. I'm gonna try not to do any drinking game infractions, but Tom Surley has a hard time doing that, especially when he's busy with Apex Legends. There's 3 drinking infractions right in one sentence. Give Tom a like. Oh, okay. Baseline. No, I'm just using an upright sample. I just closed the Logic, but it's just a sample, so I'm triggering it with the keyboard. And I'm just going root, 5, root. If it's a bar of where are you? Here you are. If it's a bar of 1 chord, then I'm going, because a bass player might play busier, but I'm keeping it really simple. So yeah, I'm just using, you can't see my keyboard, I don't think. Yeah, I don't want to tip my computer over. Oh shoot, I just opened the wrong one. I hate it when I do that. Well, I'll have to wait till it loads. But yeah, I get it. I don't do it on the guitar. I do it just with a sample. That's just a sample. So let me go back to, yeah, here we go. This won't take a second. I have to be careful though, because if the mic is on, it'll feed back. So off, okay, and here's the bass. So I'm just, boom. C, G, C, G, G, C, D, G, D, G, C, D, G. So when I'm basically doing half notes. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Next bar 1. Second line G. 5, G, 2, 3, 4, G, C, D, G. So when the chords change that fast, like they do in the last 4 bars of the A section, then I just play each root note. I really try to keep it simple because it's not, the point is not to have it's not a record. It's just as basic of a jam track as I can. But the bass helps me when I'm playing the and of course I was in the wrong key. But because it's really an A. The bass, I do the bass first and then I record the guitar. So I map out the tune. I make sure the bass is right. Sometimes I'll throw drums in there or something. But I kind of stopped doing that on bluegrass jam tracks. So people go, well, there's no drums in bluegrass. I went, yeah, that's true. Pretty rare. Also, I played it, like I said, with a blue chip pick. I did the strum on it. The previous 2, I think I used the big fat Wiegand pick the Gypsy Jazz pick that I kind of like. But it's pretty clicky. But I kind of like that. This one I feel like is really good though. The blue chip is pretty good for strumming. Let me see if they even have them on eBay, but they're ridiculously expensive. I don't understand. I think I watched a video of the guy that makes blue chip picks, and it's something about the material he uses. I think it's supposed to, and it's really nicely beveled. Now I don't know if I really used it a lot, how long it would last. But maybe that's part of the point. Is it could last you forever. It even came with a little pouch and a keychain thing, and I'm like, yeah. Now the thing is, these picks, which I've bought by the gross, I've lost millions of these. But these expensive ones, like my Gravity ones and my Wiegand ones, I don't tend to lose them because they're quite expensive. So let's see if they're even up on Amazon. Okay. Blue chip pick. Maybe there might be a reseller up there or something like that. Yeah, well, I see them. Blue chip picks. See if they have the one I have. Oh no, see they don't. So what vendors have done is they've got all these other. So they don't sell on Amazon. But all these other people that have picks that we're just like the blue chip pick, like the prime tones are kind of claimed by Dunlop. They're kind of claiming to be, and they may be the same material. I don't think I've bought one of those. They've even got the kind of the mandolin shaped ones. And then the Golden Gate, which I think that's a rounded triangle one. I think that's more of a mandolin pick, but I could be wrong. But like I said, I love, like I said, the mandolin pick, which is very symmetrical, that Wiegand makes, that I use Wiegand's. It's really, you could pick with any corner. They're all the same, I think. It's just a triangle, with rounded edges. And it's when I noticed that bluegrass players, particularly mandolin players, they don't pluck like this straight on. They kind of turn their pick at maybe a 45-degree angle and kind of get it's really fascinating if you do that with your pick, the sound you get from. And part of the thing about turning the pick this way is it keeps you from digging too deep. Okay, it really does. It makes you more brush the string. Pretty quiet on this guitar. With guitar, but. It just has a rounder tone, a little bit darker, not as clicky. So that's a good technique to start to work on. I particularly use it if I'm playing something melodic, like a really pretty thing in a song or something, or if I'll move my pick up here, get a warmer tone. And that would be, if I'm playing a solo over something, or, a lot of times you're playing in a movie and they want you to play some kind of melody on the acoustic instrument. Really try to put a lot of emotion in it. It may be written something like that, but you'll go. And the composers usually appreciate that. If you're in the studio, they'll say, "Can you play it with feeling?" And that's usually what that means. That's not what even though that's what's written, that's not what they want to hear. So, and that's one of the things that I learned. It's kind of one of the things I don't think they would teach you. I talk about doing a video about things they don't teach you in college. And being musical, especially if you study classical music, you know, it's really about playing with the orchestra and playing with others and being in tune and sync with them. So you don't really get to have a lot of personality when you're, you know, one of 20 violin players or one of 18 cello players or 10 cello players and one of 18 viola players or whatever. You may not, it's really all about conformity in a lot of ways. If you're the soloist, that's a completely different thing. But in studio work, I've noticed, you know, playing guitar is a different thing. We're rarely in an ensemble. And I remember doing a TV series called, oh shoot, what was it called? Something Detectives. And it was basically, it was kind of a cops show, but it was in different cities. So it was cool. Every week we did a different kind of vibe. You know, like this week we're in Texas, so we're doing kind of a ZZ Top vibe. And then we did a New Orleans one, and it was a different vibe. And we did a Chicago one, and it was a different vibe. And the cool thing was my friend Jim, who I work with all the time, was the composer. And he brought me in mainly because I didn't have a lot of experience. But he had the top guitar players in town every week, a different guy. One week it was Dean Parks, then it was Michael Thompson, it was Grant Geisman. There was somebody else too, I can't think of who it was. And so every week I got to sit next to one of those guys and watch what they did. And without fail, it's like Michael Thompson was like a perfect example. It's like you get handed a chart and I think I still have some of those charts because he did it right, you know, they looked like real, it was like real charts. And sometimes the cues were 4 seconds long. So usually the average cue was probably 20 seconds. And Michael would, it was like he wouldn't play a single note that was on the page, but it sounded like the best thing. He was like, wow, that sounds amazing. It's perfect. It totally sells it. I'm like, how did you do that? And I'm sitting there really like freaking out trying to read every note exactly right. And he's like doing, you know, like... You know, and I'm sitting there going... I'm like every note exactly. That's what the composer wants. And it's like, not really. And so Michael's really, really, really good at immediately making it sound like something he's played his whole life. And so that's something that again, they don't really teach. You can't teach that in college. But the goal is to get to a place where it just sounds like you've been playing this song your entire life when you're freaking sight reading it. And that's a level, that's way up there. And Dean Parks is the same way. Dean Parks, who's, you know, played on Steely Dan records and stuff. He's played on a million things. I mean, look him up. Almost bought his house, actually. His old house. Because it was right next door to Jim. Dean Parks and Jim, my friend Jim, live next door to each other. They share a fence. And then Dean moved. But one of the things that I've told you, I think this before, that Jim had an apartment in his second floor of his house, and a renter for years was why can't I think of this thing? It's like I'm not gonna, because you all know if I say it. I was like, no, I'll come up with it here. Walter Becker. So Walter Becker was the co-founder of Steely Dan, or the co-leader of Steely Dan with Donald Fagen, rented the upstairs room for years. And I would go over to Jim's house to his studio, which was above the garage, and do sessions. And I had no idea that Walter Becker was up there. But the reason he rented that place was because it was right next door to Dean Parks, and Dean Parks was like his best friend. So, Jim Beam. Yeah, not Jim Beam. Oh, Jay, you played Nylon. Yeah. I think this is thinner than this blue chip is. It says blue chip TD60. I don't know what that is. It's not 60. It's definitely thicker than 60 because it's almost identical to my 1.5s. And I like a heavy pick generally. I mean, sometimes if I'm really strumming a lot, I'll use a lighter pick. But for me, a light pick is 1.0 or 1 millimeter. So, but I know some great players, you know, that use really thin picks. I think Michael Thompson actually uses thin picks. Speaking of, Then you got these 3.0s, the gravity ones. I think I just got this at the NAMM show or something. But all right, so too many squirrels. Okay, so what I want to do is just really don't even need to have the music up there for this. You can look down below me here at these chord changes. And we're going to, you know what, I can pull up the bass, and that way we have the tempo here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to loop the B section, all right? And it's, here's the thing, the challenge of the B section, let's see, how many bars is that? That's not right. Okay, I think that's, I was off by two bars. I think this is it. Now I'm going to put the click in here. Okay, but before we do that, we're going to just kind of do a review of what's going on here. So, and again, we're capo the 2nd fret. All right, so this is technically not G. These are the G shapes are actually A's, the C shapes are actually D's, and the D shapes. But I didn't want to confuse you by writing things in A, and you're like, oh, okay, because we're capo the 2nd fret. Now, if you don't have a capo, just transpose everything up a whole step. Okay, so basically the next letter in the alphabet, of course, it's not H, it'll be A instead of H. We're not in Germany where they actually have an H. Okay, so so basically we're gonna have G, C, D, G, and that pattern is done 3 times in the B section. It's also done at the end of the A section. The second phrase, though, in the B section is G, C, G, D. Okay, and we're just gonna play. Oh, tempo for the song? I did not. What's the tempo rate for Bilge? Well, right now, I mean, on my YouTube, it's set at 100. As far as what the tempo is, everybody does it different. I mean, a good, decent tempo to impress your friends might be 150. But that's a starting tempo for most people. Most bluegrass players would probably play it in the 200 to 250 range. I mean, I don't think I could do that. But 150 is probably a good range. But we're going to do 100 here for a second. But right now, we're just going to play the chords. So play with me. If it's a really good exercise by itself in helping you change between 3 very familiar chords. And then the other exercise is keeping track of where the crap you are, because this progression, the B section, is probably one you're going to really have a tendency to lose where you are in it if you're accompanying someone, okay? And especially when if it's someone's playing a melody and you know the melody, well, you'll know, like when you hear them go, okay, when you hear them do that, you'll know, oh, okay, we're getting ready to go back to the top. That's kind of that's such a stereotype, and it's probably originated with this song, but it's a very stereotypical banjo lick. I think of it as a banjo lick. Excuse me. So let's just hit 1 strum of each, and let's just practice changing these chords. G, C, D, G. And then hit G again. C, G, D. Then G, C, D, and then G again. D, G. Top of the B section. C, D, G. Hit G again. G, D. G, C. D, G. G, C. And if you want to throw that F sharp in the bass every now and then, you can do that. Might be a little thing you could do at the very last measure to help you remember, oh yeah, I'm getting ready to turn around. So it'd be like... And that would be the whole B section, because remember, it's always repeated twice. And that alone is fun. Playing rhythm on this song is fun because it has, you know, it has a lot of movement. It's not so boring as some bluegrass, you know, rhythm parts are. Some bluegrass songs will sit on the same chord for... there's one that I was considering, I haven't ruled it out or anything like that, but it's in here somewhere. Forget what it was called. But it sits on the one chord for 8 bars, I think, and then the next 4 bars are like ding 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 ding. It's all like all these different chords. You're like ah, and then you got to sit there for. It's like you're just kind of ramping up to do that. I wish I could remember what song it was. Oh, it's probably on the floor in a pile. You can't. I don't have my camera aimed down because I don't want you to see the floor behind me where I got all these. Oh, basically they're just guilt mechanisms. Oh yeah, I got to work on this. Oh yeah, I got to work on that. Oh, I got to do this. I got to do that. Okay, so let's try this with the bass. And I may get lost. I may mess up too. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, G. I messed up. G top. C, D, G, G, C, G, D, G, C, D, G. Again, G, C, D, G. Top of the B section. C, G. And I'm just going 1, 2, 1, 2, and 3, and sorry, 1 and 2 and actually I'm going 1 and 3 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and. It's hard to do all that and not mess up. So I'm basically the rhythm I'm playing there. Oops, I gotta stop this. But basically, I can't see your question. Oh, yes, I did answer the question. Where is everybody? People stop. Oh, you're all playing. Basically the rhythm I'm doing because I'm not getting to do a full bar of one chord. So you really don't want to do like the standard folk groove. Yeah, the song's not written by me. This is not written by me, but this is actually written by, I don't know who wrote Bill Cheatham, to be honest. Couldn't find out a lot of information on it. And I'm hoping we're not, if it's copyright, I'll do a copyright share if somebody makes a claim on it, but I don't think that's going to happen. We'll see. In fact, I uploaded let me look in the channel thing and see if somebody, no, it says, let me refresh. Oh, and I can post the bass line I was playing over is in this jam. So here's the jam I need to post this to Discord. I'm sorry. Dang it, I haven't done that yet. So let me post, the Discord link is up there, and that's for the new, let's see. This would be under Tom's lesson PDFs and etc. So here's Bill Cheatham. All right. So now it's also up at Discord. And then here it is. And again, it will be, shorter if you change the tempo. If you speed it up. So at 150, it's, and you can practice. I would do this. I would practice the rhythm. I would speed, if you got the rhythm, if this is too slow for you, that's fine. You're ultimately, if you're going to be accompanying someone, you're going to be playing it a lot faster. And I'm kind of going down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Thank you, Holly. It doesn't matter. No one's going to go, wait a minute. You didn't write it. I'm really old. So, yeah, Holly, thanks for thinking I'm so old that I wrote Bill Cheatham. Okay, so my point is that so I'm just basically doing the strumming pattern when I only have 2 beats of each chord. I'm going down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down. Right? If I have a whole bar, I might do the folk pattern, which sounds really campfire-y at this tempo, but at a fast tempo, it really sounds more bluegrassy. Okay? Oops, sorry. I got an email from a record company guy. Gotta check it out real quick. Okay, perfect. All right, excellent. I signed a publishing deal with Universal Music Group, not a publishing, an admin deal. I got a great deal. So, but it's just funny because I got a little statement this morning, and I opened it up, and it was like $16, and I'm like, what? What the heck, And then I looked at it. It was for a song that I have 5% of from like years ago. I'm like, oh, okay. I wasn't expecting to get $16 from that, so that's cool. But it was literally 6 different PDFs telling me the source of the revenue, all this stuff. It's cool having that kind of. They really, give me lots of information, and I think that really helps. The more information I have, I'm really big on that. Especially like when I'm writing music for TV and stuff, and I get my cue sheets. Well, I get cue sheets, but I get the BMI statements. Cue sheets are what the studio, the producers create, saying, okay, this song plays for 40 seconds here, this song plays for blah, blah, blah. And so what all the music is on it. And if it's an hour-long show, it could have it could have 3 or 4 pages of. Sometimes it only uses 3 seconds of a song. So I've done for Discovery, I've done a bunch of things where it's just like, like, right? And those are called bumpers or tags, or hits. I've even done some that were just like, but hey, it's fine. If it's 3, it could be 4 seconds, 5 seconds, or whatever to end a scene. That's 5 seconds of cue sheet. And on some things, like if I had 1 second on Price is Right, it would pay $2. So, and it was like, but I would have like sometimes 200 seconds a day. So I was making $400 a day sometimes from some shows, and and it was sometimes the same piece of music over and over and over again. So something you wrote once. So it can every second counts in that game. So, but the cue sheets get turned into BMI, and the BMI sends you the statements of where the money's coming from, the different shows, like everything from Discovery to ABC to CNN or whatever. I pretty much have music on every cable network and every major network. I've gotten money from ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox. I've gotten money from all of them. Sometimes pennies, but something. And but what I really do is I go through those BMI statements at every quarter and go, oh, okay, oh, they're really liking the bluegrass music with the hip hop beats. You know, it's like, okay, well, I'll make more of that. You know, it's kind of one of those things where the more information I can have, the better. So. Does where does one go to A and 2 go to B? As you explain it, and where does each rhythm part go into the melody? I'm not sure I understand the question. I mean, you do know that we're capoed, right? So technically we're not playing A, we're playing a G shape, but it sounds like an A. So if you are not capoing, if you want to play an open, just go up a whole step from each of those. So G would be A, C would be D, and D would be E. Okay, do you need me to show you that? And then, but again, if you play that without a capo, this won't work. The music won't. The tab. You need a capo to make it work in the key of A. But if you want, you can play it in the key of G. I probably should have saved that. You can totally play it in the key of C. G, it doesn't matter. If you're playing with somebody else, you can do it in the key of G. So, but I'm not sure if that's. And where does each rhythm part go onto the melody? I mean, you should be able to see the chords there. Oh, the A. The A and B section. Yeah, it does. The A section, you see the repeat signs? The repeat sign, you basically do the A section twice. We're just practicing the B section, though. Because that's really hard. Why practice something that's easy? You're sitting on G for 8 beats and C for 8 beats. When what we really need to do is that's where you're gonna probably most likely stumble. So, and like I said, you can go to the YouTube here, and I 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 150. Sorry. I gotta practice. Oh, you know what? And that's what I want to play, but yeah, I almost feel like let me stop this. Where are you? There you are. I almost feel like that's what I really feel like the melody should be, but where am I getting that from? Oh, that's from above. That's what it is. That's why. Okay. So it's not. It's a different melody. So, which is hard to play. You could also do it here. But we're not. I could do the whole. Let's see. I could do it all in technically third position. The bar third. I'm talking about bar 11 right here. Then I'd have to shift down. So we're gonna finger it. We're gonna start out in third position, but then we're gonna go to open. We got that open E string that we can totally make that shift. And then back to. We're actually gonna go to fifth position in this song. And this is the. And that I think that line right there, I'm just gonna have to play 100 times until I'm gonna have to figure out what the most efficient way to finger it on the left hand. I'm going to stick with alternating picking on my right hand, or I'm going to try to. Okay, but it's like I said, it's a banjo-y lick, so it's probably really a lot easier to play on banjo. In fact, I can kind of visualize it. Where's my banjo's right there? I can kind of visualize on banjo. It has a G note in it, so that's probably the thumb. So half, 3 of those notes in that bar 15 are played with a thumb on a banjo, which is, again, banjo is such a bass-backwards instrument. PDF. Oh, good. Oh, excellent. Jan's got the PDF. Jan's got the backing track. That's awesome. Let me see what the views are on those backing tracks, because we're moving on. And I mean, like I said, I'm not expecting any real money or revenue from these. Yeah, we only got 27 views of the Wildwood Flower, 21 views of Down in the Valley to Pray. I mean, some of you may be downloading them. I don't care. That's fine. Again, I didn't upload them to make money. If I really think that there's a market for them, and there may be, because one of my biggest YouTube videos is the Jam Track in 120. So there might be a thing where I re-record these and make them sound a little bit better. I would probably play. Would I play guitar all the way through? Probably I wouldn't. I would know how many bars I'm going to do, or how many times through. Like if I'm going to do 6, I might do 3 on one side with one guitar and 2 on the other side with a different guitar. So it's stereo, and then have the upright bass. Maybe throw a mandolin. I don't know. But something to play along with. But you can use the Jam Track to practice the rhythm, and that's really what we're talking about today. So hopefully I answered John's question. Yeah, and they're both repeated once. So I would say the song form is AABB. So it's AABA is much more common, but this song is almost always AABB. Hey, Ark, what's going on? So yeah, so we're not, again, we're going to start working on the melody. We'll work on the melody. You guys can practice in the meantime, all right? And try to do alternating picking, which means you're going to start with the downstroke, down, up, down, up. And I'll tell you one thing. This is one of those examples. Remember, I tell you, banjo, when you watch a banjo player, watch their right hand. That's where everything's happening, okay? Their left hand could be literally on this, not even on the instrument, because they're playing a G chord, because it's tuned to an open G chord. They can do some pretty amazing stuff without their left hand on the instrument at all. And a lot of times they're just like, they're hammering on one note, or hamming on, they're getting hammy, ham-handed. And then when they'll do the same thing, they'll play like a C chord, and then they'll be doing, so all the work is being done over here. Well, that's what's happening in this B section, okay? If you watch the left hand, it almost looks like I'm just going, and I am, okay? That's basically what's happening with the left hand. It even starts out that way, and then it, okay? So the left hand, once you have these chords, and I would memorize them, once you have these 2 shapes memorized, we only have 2 shapes. We have the G triad, and then the C triad, and then the D triad. And of course, actually, this is A, D, and E. It's a little bit, I really don't like the fact that we're, not in the proper key, and we're getting up. It's one thing to be in open position. It's another thing to start working your way up to the net and going, this is a D chord. It's not. It's an E chord. And it's like, so, I don't want you to, when you take the capo off, think this is a D chord, because it's not. So, but for the sake of not having to transpose and, having weird tablature and all that stuff, I'm basically, in fact, I could set this so that the capo is at the 2nd fret, and when I do the finale, I think, and so the music would be in A, but the notation, the tab would be in G, and with the capo implied, and that would be even more confusing to me. I would be like, because right now I am thinking, okay, that. Because remember, I'm reading the music, not the tab, but I'm making sure the tab is correct. So if you want to, you can before Wednesday, work on these three shapes here. There's really only two shapes: the G shape, the C shape, and the D shape, which are the same. If you want to throw a chromatic in it. So you can practice those, because that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Over 50% of the B section, just those shapes, because it's the first two bars, bar 9 and 10. It's the first two beats of bar 11, and then it's again 13 and 14. Okay, so you've got slightly over 50% of the song of the B section are these shapes, and so the work is going to be over here. And we worked on this. We worked on doing triads. I don't know if you remember. We worked on picking those, doing alternate picking on triads, which is hard. Like I said, playing triads on mandolin is easy. Okay, so maybe we should just all take up mandolin. Those frets are so tiny, though. I mean, I think the first frets are the size, basically the size of your 12th fret. It's like crazy. Okay, so I'm going to play the jam track again. Here's just the B section. Okay, you ready? It's 2, 3, 4. That's the tempo. Okay, you ready? I can't be doing two things at once, so I'm gonna miss the first chord. You ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. G, C, G, D, G, C, G. Top of the B section. G, D, and G, C, D, G. Okay, now just for the sake of kind of putting it all together, let's do the A section and the B section. Okay, so we're going to go to the top of the song, and I'll go ahead and give us a bar. Yeah, I'll give us one bar here so I can get my hand on the guitar. Well, you know what? I'm going to give me 2 bars so that I can get my hand on get the Windows order and everything. Okay, I can keep tabs on your questions or whatever. Wow, that is, yes, it is a lot easier to use the triad shapes. Yeah. You're just, again, it should look, you know, gosh, Holly makes it look so easy. Sam makes it look so easy. It should look easy. It's kind of a weird thing, but that's one of the great things about the triads. And again, banjo players, that's pretty much kind of what they're doing, and they're playing triad shapes, and then they're maybe adding a note here and there, hammering on, sliding, whatever. They're just having fun. You know, it's the right hand that's doing all the heavy lifting in banjo. So, all right, we're starting to climb all of a sudden, which is awesome. And so those of you who are just joining us, we're playing just the rhythm changes here. We're practicing at 100 beats per minute, just the chord changes, and it does the A section twice and the B section twice, okay? All right, here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Gosh, sorry. I got my windows wrong. Okay, let me do this again. I got to do my windows in the right order. Okay. 3, 4. 2 bars of C. 100 beats per minute. G. And I'm rushing because it's so slow. G, C, D, to the top. G, C, G, or D, G. And I do that again. Now we're in the B section. section. C, G, D. That's the one weird section. Then it's just back to the G, C, D, G. Now we're getting ready to go back to the top. There's going to be nothing there but clicks. 1, 2, 3, 4, top. 2, 3, 4. C. G, C, D, G. Really slow. Shoot. Insert curse word here. Okay, I think I know how I'm gonna. Oh, I gotta stop this. Hold on. Okay, I think I know how I'm gonna finger that last melodic phrase in bar 15 and 16. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna start on the third finger, cross over with the second finger, and then go open and use the open string to put the pinky on the G that time. So I can kind of leave the pinky on there if I want to have that ring out. You know, and leave it so it's there for the last chord. I could do, but that just feels too tight. So I'm gonna start. So I may insert some fingerings in there and re-upload this chart. Okay, mainly for that one phrase. I think everything else is. Yeah, I don't think I need. We've been talking about that. So remember go back. One video or two videos, I talk about the fact that we got to practice moving between first position and second position. This is one of the things we can cull from this. We did a whole song in Wildwood Flower in first position. We did Down to the Valley in second position because I saw a lot of, you know. Okay, what is it? What's the notification? I don't know what's happening, but you guys are seeing me okay, right? OBS is giving me a notification, but I don't know. I don't see any. It still says green. Did we lose some speed or something? No. Hey, 46 concurrent. That's awesome. Thanks for joining us. We've been doing bluegrass now. This is, I think, week 13. And we're going to take a break next week. I don't know how long the break is going to last, but we're going to come back to bluegrass. I'll find a couple more songs we can learn. And I don't know exactly what I'm going to talk about, but I think we could talk about rhythm. Maybe I think that's a really common thing. Anybody have any suggestions what you'd like to work on next week? It's got to be something fairly universal. Like, don't say mandolin because not all of you have mandolins. I mean, if you all want to buy mandolins before Monday, we can talk about mandolin. I'm not a mandolin player, but I play one on TV. So, actually, I've never actually played mandolin on TV. I played bass. I pretended to play bass, and I pretended to play banjo. Heart of Dixie in that show. So if you're a fan of Heart of Dixie, you might see me for a split second in the background in an episode. I could tell you what episode if you're a fan. Hey, Jandra. Welcome. So I've been tabbing out writing different songs. Bluegrass, we've done 3 so far. And like I said, if you go back to like, let's see, you know what? That one's, so here's which one is this? This is Wildwood Flower. We did Wildwood Flower. We did Down in the Valley to Pray. And this one is the one where we moved our hands to second position. And we were with no capo. And now we're doing Bill Cheatham, which is a busier. This is much more difficult than the other two we've done. But it's cool, Holly, that it's so much easier when you, right? Because if you were to try to do this, and it's just, if it's not easy, so what do I always say? I always say, if there's two ways to do something and one way is easy and one way is hard, that's the easy way is how they did it, the guitar player. You know, if you're figuring out something, go, did the guitar player do, this, which is easy, or did they do this? Because that, whatever. And it's like, no, it's always the easy one. Guitar players are lazy. They're never going to take the hard road. There are many, many times where I figured out things wrong because I was like, gosh, that's so weird. And then I realized later, oh, it's so easy this way, So that's, yeah, 7 string. Yeah, I'm not doing 7 string. I don't have a 7 string. Oh, thank you, Holly, for got my coffee today. Coffee and a tip. And you can do stickers too, right? You can do, I was just looking at that super stickers or sticker chat, or I don't know. Yeah, every skill level is represented here. I'm amazing. Everybody else is less amazing. Tom Straley never talks about himself in the third person. If you're wondering how to pronounce my name, I know it's wrong. I know it should be Strahl. If I lived in Germany, I would probably introduce myself as Tom Strahl. Right, Jan? Is that how I would say it? Or Dennis? Strahl. But Straley, it's like Guerrero, Rodriguez, it's like, no. It would be silly for me to walk around and say, hi, I'm Tom Strahl. Here in America. Super sticker. I've never tried the super sticker. Yeah, I don't know what that, I don't know, the super sticker thing is just funny. I think it's just like, oh, cool, I can give you a sticker, I just think it's cool. And I think, full disclosure, I think generally I get 70% of anything, which is, I'm 100% fine with YouTube taking their take because they're making all of this possible. All right. You wouldn't know me if it weren't for YouTube. And I know Google's a big corporation. They make a lot of money. This is how they make a lot of money. And I'm fine with that because, I do all right too. Yeah. When I refer to myself in the third person, it's a sippable offense. That's right. Yeah, we have lots of sippable offenses here. So if I touch my face, which is a COVID no-no, we all have to take a sip. Now, the problem is now whenever I'm thirsty, I always touch my face. So I'm actually touching my face now more than I ever have. Pavlovian's response. Pavlovian response. The other, if I refer to myself in third person, if I mention the fact that I played all the guitars on Apex Legends, I'm also doing Watch Dogs and Star Wars, and I'm working on another game called Battlebound that won't be out until next year. That's going to be a big game. So I'm having a lot of fun doing all that stuff. It's a lot. It's just fun. A lot of the times I'm just creating crazy things, inventing instruments, stuff like that. Anyway, neither here nor there. If I drop my pick, that's a sippable offense. If I say there won't be a quiz on this, or if I hold up the mug saying thus, okay. Sometimes when I get into a little detaily and a little geeky and nerdy on music theory, I'll tell you that so that you don't get worried that I'm going to expect you to know anything I'm telling you. Okay. So that's why I say that, because I don't want you to freak out. My thing, the reason I say this, and I just uploaded a video. I'm going to do another one here. I just uploaded a video, digging deeper into the A minor chord. I'm going to do one. I'm working on the diagrams right now for digging deeper into the E minor chord. And then I'll do D minor, B minor, F sharp minor. I may do C sharp minor. I give you a lot of information in those videos, but you don't need to understand them. But the thing is, by the end of the video, it's about a 10-minute video, you might start to go, oh, that is the fifth. Oh, that is the root. Oh, I understand what that means now. And that's why I say these things. I don't say them because I expect you to know them. Or I think some of you do. I know people like John in Louisville. He he definitely John in Louisville knows music theory. I know Sam knows music theory. I know a bunch of you do. So, and then yeah, what else? If I change guitars, if I leave the room, if I drop a thumb pick, that's two sips. So yeah, so we have a lot of drinking game rules here, and we're mostly drinking water, coffee, tea, juice, Coca-Cola, something like that. So, I mean, I don't know. Some of you in where it's after dinner time, you might be having a liqueur or something, you know, or a bourbon to take the edge off off the cold. So, or a whiskey. But we're not drunk blogging here, so that's just so you know. Okay, so again, the rhythm pattern I'm using on the B section, okay, so we're talking bar 9 through bar 16, is I'm just, because the chord changes every 2 beats, I'm just going down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down. Okay, so let's just repeat that first bar. I hate to do this because there is a change in the next bar, but we're just going to loop this first 2 bars, okay? G, C, D, G, okay? But I don't want you to get that ingrained in your head because you need to remember that the second 2 bars of the B section does the chords in a different order, okay? The strumming pattern doesn't really matter, but you need to change chords in time. You could go down, 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 or you could go down, 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 down. What you're doing with the right hand is not so critical as keeping the tempo going. If you can't change chords fast enough, you need to slow down and then play it at the tempo that you can change chords fast enough. Okay? But I just want you to see what I'm doing. So I'm doing down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down. And rhythmically wise, there's no quiz on this, so take a sip. It's 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1. Sorry, 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. Good. I'm glad you liked that video, Lena. I'm going to do, like I said, I'm going to do E. I'll probably do it this week and upload it this week. I'm doing, the hard work is actually doing all the, prep work where I'm figuring out, okay, let me think of some chords. Cause I just got like, oh yeah, here's a good one. Oh, here's another good. Oh, cool. I forgot about this. Oh yeah, I'll do that one, So I got some, for E minor, I've got some cool ones coming. So, and some of it's just fun. Some of it's, ones you can literally use to substitute for, when you play E minor, you can use it. So and that's kind of what I do with it. Let me see how the video, what are we looking at? Yeah, it's only got, the Digging Deeper into A minor only has 500 views. 538, so it's not great. Let's see. If you're wondering what I'm talking about here, I'll post a link to it. Oh, where'd it go? There we go. Yeah, 538, it's not changed. So here's that one. So you can open this up and save it for later if you haven't seen it. But that's my latest upload. And then I might, I may just stick on that for a minute. I keep threatening to do one about things you didn't learn in college or you should have been taught in college. Okay, so yeah, I feel like that's enough strumming. You don't need to get any busier than that. You could do straight solid 16th or 8th notes. Sorry, that would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. That's kind of a different feel, The nice thing about when you get up to really fast tempo, it just sounds kind of bluegrassy. If I did straight 8th notes, it would sound like this. And that just, to me, sounds too busy. And it also sounds like something's about to happen, right? It's like if I were to go. I'm playing the B section, and if I were to change the straight eighth notes to sound like this. Really where we might end. I should probably chop that and edit it so that the last chord actually ends on instead of. But yeah, it sounds impending, which is fine. Maybe the very, very last time, if you're trying to build some energy and everybody's playing the melody or whatever, you got a fiddle player and another guitar player and a banjo player and a mandolin player all playing the melody, and you're the rhythm guitar player. You might have to go to straight eighth notes like that just to kind of keep the energy, build the energy, because you're going to be, if you're the rhythm guitar player, you're probably going to be the drummer too, so you're kind of setting the mood for that. You can even do this. This is not uncommon, right? This is another rhythm tool that you can use when you're accompanying someone. And when Alex and I have done jams, you've probably seen us do this. We need to do another one. I apologize. He's over here almost every Saturday and Sunday. It just never even occurs to me. But you can do stops, okay? So in other words, so basically what you're doing is you're leaving a lot of space for the soloist. And they may either be playing a solo or they may be playing the melody. Right? I got to work on that. I got to work on the two phrases, the second and fourth phrase on the B section. I have that one pretty much down. I want to go because it's the same thing we do up in bar 4. I keep defaulting to that. Yeah. I think that's going to be the way I finger it. So when I get to that third phrase. So the great thing about this whole song and so many of these songs is that the phrases are distinctly like, that's a phrase, that's a phrase, that's a phrase, that's a phrase. So you can practice them individually. Once you have one down, you don't need to, if you have that one down, which is going to be hard for some of you at first, but it may ultimately be the easiest phrase in the song to play up to speed. You have that one down, you don't need to work on that. You work on, that one. And I'm breaking the cardinal rule right now. I'm trying to play it too fast. Okay, the goal is to kind of get it down at a tempo and don't make any mistakes. Play it 5 or 10 times in a row with no mistakes, and then up the tempo and see if you can do it. And if you're making a mistake, then take it from 100 to 110. And if you're like, nope, I made mistakes, take it down to 105. Try to get it 5 to 10 times in a row without making a mistake. Just the phrase, 2 bars. And then ooch it up again to 110. And now you got it. Now you go to 120 and it's like, nope, I messed up. So you're going to have to go back down to 115. It's a game. It's essentially you're playing a video game, right? I mean, I know they have the teaching systems that do all that, where you plug your guitar in and it knows if you're doing it, you hit a wrong note or a bad, those are brilliant. And I have zero experience with them. I don't really know anyone who's gone from beginner to professional using those systems. I don't even know anyone who's gone from beginner to intermediate using those systems, but I'm sure they totally exist. But I still, music is still something that, and this is a feeble effort at that, but music is still something that almost always needs to be taught face to face. You can learn music from a book, sure. You can learn music from a video, sure. But having a teacher, ultimately, that's probably the best way to learn it. Or just a group of people to play with. I don't think, I've done my best learning jamming with others because you're completely afraid to make mistakes. So you practice going before you get to the jam. You're like, okay, I got to learn this song. I got to get this down. I went to it once. but there was a group of guys, guys and gals that met at a church, about 15 people, and they sat in a circle and they had books and they handed out books and they started jamming songs and everybody would take solos, go around the circle. There were no pros there, so it wasn't something that, I don't know that if I had 15 professional guitar players in a circle, I'd want to be there either, because I'd be like, I'm so scared. But that was too much. But 2 people, 3 people, that's fun. Or if you're putting together, like in this case, a bluegrass group, you have someone that really wants to play mandolin, someone who wants to play bass, someone who wants to play banjo or whatever. Then you get all your bases covered, so to speak. Oh, what's happening now? You're trying to give me money and they won't let you? See, I have Super Chat. I can give, wait, can I give myself a Super? Show your support for Tom Straley. Yeah, you guys are supporting me. All right. So tell me. It's already 10:20. I'm gonna take a break, give my fingers a rest. So any thought about what maybe we could work on next week? Maybe for a week or 2 weeks. I could talk about rhythm. I could talk about, because we've been doing. This may be the start of the 14th week or 13th week of bluegrass, and we're probably losing some people that just don't care about bluegrass. The reason we start bluegrass, if you don't know, is I got to a point where this is lesson. What are we at? Lesson 182, and since COVID hit, it's been almost a year since we started doing these. The anniversary is March 18th, 16th, something like that. And we couldn't leave the house practically, and so I'm like, well, what are we going to do? And everybody was kind of in the same boat, so I started doing these lessons, and I got to a point where I was like, what do you guys want to learn next? And somebody said, it may, like I always say, it may have been Holly, I can't remember. Oh, do it, pull, okay. Boy, I have to come up. That means I have to come up with 5 options. And so, and I know what it's going to happen. If I make singing and playing one of them, you're going to say that. And then you're going to have all these videos of me singing. And I'm like, nah. I forgot I've got to go to this game hour thing. I forgot. I guess I got another thing to do. Legato technique, like slide. Yeah, we could talk about that. That would apply to legato. So Sam's legato is a term. It's a violin term, basically. If you think of a violin, they pull a bow across the strings, right? And so the equivalent of picking every note for a violinist is to change the bow direction for every note. Dun 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 dun, right? But if they're pulling a bow and changing notes, those are called legato. So what's happening is, on guitar, a legato is basically hammer-ons. Oh, that's another video I want to do. I want to do what's called slur studies in classical guitar music. Those are slurs where you can practice doing hammer-ons between fingers, and they hurt. Pull-offs. Oh, it's just like you can go back and forth. I got to come up with some. I don't really do slur studies, but exercises. But legato would be playing like this. You're hammering on. Alan Holdsworth is one of my favorite guitar players. He passed away just a few years ago. He was famous for doing those kind of things. His music was very futuristic. Even now, it still sounds like something that we wouldn't hear for another 100 years. It sounded like something like Star Trek, Like if they were listening to music, it would be Alan Holdsworth. But that would be plucking every note. So you wouldn't call that staccato necessarily. But staccato would be on guitar, or muting the strings, palm muting, things like that. So yeah, we could talk about different techniques. That wouldn't be a bad thing. I don't know if we would spend a lesson on each technique, if I could come up with that much stuff, slides and stuff. Yeah, started bluegrass on 146 and we're 182 now. So that's what, 36 divided by, that's 13 weeks divided by 3. So, cause 3 a week. Rhythm patterns for different genres. And Lena, that's definitely something, I think that's a really good one. That's, what was Holly's proposal? Or we could just ask what people are interested for you to choose 5 things from. Yeah, we could do that too. Well, I could here. I'll even go over to Discord right now and I hate it. Always beeps when I do. Let's see. Would I put that in general? Chit chat there, Dennis. Where should I put this? Because I think I can create a poll. Doesn't a window come up? Where do I? It's weird. I hit the plus sign and nothing happens, Dennis. So weird. If I want to put a message, where it says message, I hit plus. It doesn't give me any options. Is that only, do I hit plus? No, I hit return to make that. What happens if I type something and then hit plus? Nothing. So I think the plus sign is where I would do the, would add a poll. Oh, yeah, I could do it in announcements. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Oh, yeah, that's where I did the... But, yeah, still, it's not giving me any options there. Edit message, pin message, reply, blah, 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 delete message. No, none of those. Wait. Pin messages, announcements, make muting channel now. I don't know. But maybe Dennis can do one once we have a few options. Let's see. Strumming, different styles. That's one. That's a good one. What was the one you said, Sam? Legato techniques slide. Yeah. Musicality techniques, I would call that. Actually, Holly really likes those. Because Holly likes it when I do the little teaser notes. It's like... like that kind of stuff. Feel, emotion. Okay, so strumming in different styles, musicality techniques. I could probably send these directly to you, Dennis, and then you could create a poll. For some reason, I can't. I see you typing there. So, what others? Let's see. As of November 2021, we needed a DeLorean. Yeah. 13 weeks. Yeah, that's a quarter of a year. 13 weeks. We've been doing this bluegrass stuff. Bottleneck slide, too advanced for this form? Not necessarily. I mean, everyone should have a slide in their arsenal. I recommend just a Dunlop glass one. It's pretty light. It's fairly easy. Metal slides are a little too hard. And I'm big on doing slide and standard tuning, which makes it a little easier for this form because if we start getting, let's go to open D, G, and then it's like, I don't know if you know how to do that. I mean, I can take you through it, but then if you join halfway through, like, well, what tuning are we in? And, I could actually put that in there, so it wouldn't be a big deal. But so slide could be an option. Slide techniques could definitely be an option. And then, open slide is more fun. That's one of those areas where I'm not like super skilled at. Do I have another acoustic? Well, here, let me do this. So everybody can take a sip because I'm changing guitars. I'm getting out the little the cheap Jim Dandy that I think I paid $160 for on Amazon. And intentionally, it's a crappy guitar, and that's what I like about it. Okay, I got people saying that's not. I hated mine. I got I even say in the video where I'm talking about it, unboxing it and everything. I even say I intentionally got this because it's a crappy guitar, and I want that crappy guitar sound. So I'm going to tune this. I'm going to tune this to open. It was already tuned down a whole step. Well, I mean, it was really out of tune, but I'm going to tune this to open D. So the nice thing about open D is it's lower than what's standard. If we go to open E, the problem is we're raising 3 strings, so you could break a string, and I would hate to have you do that. So with open D, we're lowering 4 strings. 3 of them a whole step and 1 a half step. But a lot of the old blues guys would do this still to this day. And RJ Rankia is very good at this. But you got this, you got this thing, and you could go with a smaller slide because you may want to, it's fun, but playing it open is your brain. It rearranges everything. So it's for me, it's not natural, but I can't create like vintage blues slide kind of stuff without going to a open tuning of some kind. So that's and we did some DADGAD stuff. We did a video on DADGAD, right? I mean, we did like a week on DADGAD or 5 lessons on DADGAD, something like that. But slide, I could put slide in there, slide techniques, slide basics. And like I said, I actually really like doing slide in standard tuning because I like to, in fact, I just did it this weekend at church. I played slide, let's see, I wonder, of course, if I play it, I wonder if it'll do this copyright infraction thing. Let's see. We did this song called Rattle, which is a really fun song. And I think that the live stream stays up. Yesterday, February, maybe not. Well, let's see. Again, I'm going to have to. Okay, there's Dudley. Yeah, there we are. Okay. So this is. Seems great as impossible to ever start to. You see me and Alex here, so I think that gets you there. And you go in about 46 minutes. Dry Bones Rattling is the song we're doing. Yeah, I'm gonna get a copyright. I'll pull this out. Yeah, you can hear my slide. And I think that's from Saturday night. So yeah, you can hear the slide on that. And I'm in. Well, technically on that song I'm in drop D, but I'm not playing the bottom string. I'm in drop D because the song's in D and it's a big kind of rocking song. It's a fun song. We're actually gonna do it on Easter It actually is a great song for Easter. But I think I don't know how many services we're doing on Easter. We may be doing 8 services. It could be as many as 8, I've been told. I think we've done more, but that's a lot. That's a lot of service. I think we did 10 one Christmas. It was like, because everybody shows up for Easter and Christmas, you know. So, you know, you may have 20,000 members and they don't show up all the same week except those 2 weeks. So, yeah, I like the double drop D. That's actually a really good tuning for slide because, as I say in the video, double drop D has the D on top and the D on the bottom. I can show that to you real quick, okay? Yeah, I'm tired of talking about Bill Cheatham. Wednesday's gonna be a hard day. We're gonna have a hard time on Wednesday. So all I'm doing is I'm taking the 2 E strings down to D. Okay, that's pretty close. And then the thing that's happening is musically, okay, the notes are. Sorry, do great text. Okay, whatever. Okay, it's D, D A, D G B D. Sorry. D A D G B D. Normal would be. You know, sorry, eat at Denny's, bad eggs. So what we're doing is we're lowering the strings down, the 2 E strings down to D. So that's the tuning we have. But what you've got is on the top 4 strings you have a triad. Like the top 4 strings, G or D, G, B, D. That's a G triad. Top 3 strings of G. Normally it would be E, and so you have like a E minor 7 chord. But here now we have a pure major triad. So if I go up here, this is whatever note this is, that's what chord that is. So if this is a C, if this is a D, then this is a D chord. If this is a C, that's a C chord. You go to F, F is right there. And the only thing you don't have is this A down to D. But the reason I like this tuning is, you do miss that, that growl with the open G. You do miss that. I kind of like to have that with open G. The problem is that D string becomes completely useless in open, and that's why Keith Richards even takes it off. He doesn't even use the low 6 string. So open G, you've got this kind of useless string. So I'm giving up having that G thing. I can do it, but I have to do it elsewhere. So if I want the, I got to do it here. It's like, right? Instead of, I can do it there, but I can't use the A string. That doesn't sound the same. But I have to do it there. Now, but what I do have with this D now, because I didn't tune the A string down to G, I've got a power chord here on the bottom, which is really usable for. Okay, you just have to remember where the chords are. Like D is here and here and then here. G would be here. And also up here. So anyway, that's kind of for slide. If I need to do some, if I want to have options when I'm playing slide on guitar, I might use that tuning. When I'm playing in, I probably should try that. I've never used that tuning on a lap steel, but that's So, okay. Did anybody else make another recommendation? A video to talk about and a habit. Yeah, I've got. Let me pull up that video because I think it's a fairly recent video, so it's probably. Where is that? Yeah. Oh, Dad Gad. Introduction to the Dad Gad tune. That one's got 1,300. Yeah. I'm still trying to catch lightning in the bottle. Trying to get another. I mean, in my last, the John Lennon's favorite strumming group is my most popular video at 8,000 in the last year or so. My strumming lessons are fairly popular. I feel like there's some of these things should have a lot more views. I think they're better than a lot of stuff that's out there. I know you agree. Okay, so slide tips for beginners. Okay, so I must have done that. Oh, no, tips for playing slide and standard. Oh no, yeah, because the double drop D. Where is that? You know, I could do a search. I've done more videos than I think I have. You know. Okay, I'm just going to have to do a search across my channel because I think I called it double drop D. Yeah, there it is. How long ago did I do it? That's here in this studio. So here's the link to that. I talk about that. So if you thought that was cool,
we're calling these the new $1 billion.
You thought that was cool. Then I got 5 thumbs down, which is funny. It's like, well, I don't know what they... Yeah, I love this. Somebody said 3 days ago, whoa, I play in Open G and Open D for years and never thought of double drop D like this before. This is really awesome tip. Thanks for the video and cheers from South America, Bolivia. All right, what else do we have? Do we have any other thoughts here? Let's see. Delete Facebook, WhatsApp, and oh, LinkedIn. You have LinkedIn, yeah. Yeah, it was not. Yeah, no A on top. Yeah, it was the A. Okay, over 670 videos. Bruce, it just makes me tired. Yeah, you know, it's fine. Your Facebook thing, I don't. Let me see if the Shepherd. Yeah, it might be on YouTube. Hold on, let me check and see. Shepherd Church has a YouTube channel, but I don't know if the videos stay up there. How that works. And I do follow, so it should come up. Let's see, Shepherd Church. Hey, I'm live right now. Yeah, I don't. Well. Yeah, see, this is just the sermons. I can tell by the time of the videos, it's just the sermons. I think because there's issues with copyrights, or that it doesn't. We pay the Facebook ones, but we don't pay the YouTube ones or whatever, so they just chop them. So, do Martins all Martins have double dots on the 7th fret? I don't know. That's a good question. I've never even. I mean, I noticed that there's 2 dots at the 7th fret, and I'm losing people. People are like, "What, Tom? What are you talking about?" I've never. To me, it seems like a standard thing. At least the double dots at the 12th fret for sure, but the 7th fret, I've never noticed that other guitar players do, or other guitars don't do it. Well, the Gretsch doesn't have double dots at the. None of those guitars have double dots at the 7. Now I'm going to start noticing that stuff. Thanks, Sam. Paul, set up a Discord room, make an announcement, and let suggestions roll, and people can thumbs up or thumbs down when they like whatever. Do they not do polls in Discord? I thought I saw a poll. I could do a poll on my Twitter. Yeah, I could do a poll on my Twitter. Oh, that's right. It's Justin Bieber's birthday today. I forgot. Hilarious. He is 27 today. Hard to believe. I've known him since he was 15. Oh my gosh. He's literally 2 weeks younger than our second son, Jack. So usually I don't have a problem remembering, but I just totally forgot. Let's see. Yeah, we could do something like that. Although if we do a poll, it's like, am I obligated then? If whatever comes in first, I have to do the lessons on that. And are we sure of the polling integrity? Someone's gonna sign in with 10 different accounts just to get like 7 string. I'm looking at you, Dennis. Let's see. Yeah, so I think, but yeah, metal genre. I would not be comfortable because I don't consider myself a metal. Of course, I don't consider myself a bluegrass player either. But I think metal is probably one of those things that's like better to be taught by others. I don't have like an issue with metal at all. I use it all the time. I write a lot of metal stuff for TV. And drop D is sometimes a big part of that. I also use the baritone because it gives me that low B thing. No, I'll leave Michael. I'll leave them up there. There's no reason for me to take those down. Although Michael, I mean, there's no reason for me to take them down. The only thing I might do is make better versions of those and make them public. And then I would be tempted to take down the old ones. But because they're not set to public, they are set to private. They don't show up in my feed. So because these are not the quality I would do if I was going to upload it to my channel for permanent, guard your brand kind of stuff, right? These are just quickies that I did. The one I did for Bill Cheatham, I did this morning before I logged in. So I played one time through. That's a loop of the same guitar for, I would not normally do one loop for 8 times. Just not that it matters. You might not even notice that it's a loop because it's such a long loop. It's 36 bars. What's Michael's question? I say, yeah. So they should be good. I don't plan on taking them down. I mean, I can't. The only thing I might do is, and if we stop doing lessons or whatever, if they disappear, you might want to go to my channel, and if they disappear, it's because I did better ones. Okay, so hopefully that answers the question. So I can delete this. People are like, why is that? All right. So we may review the melody on Wednesday, the A section, but we'll definitely go to the B section and start working on that. And I may do a version of it that has some fingerings for the last 2 bars because I feel like that. And if you print it up, you can write it in there, but or you can print up a new one if I do actually do the fingerings. I'm not sure exactly. I may treat it like a lyric, so it'll be it'll be numbers, and it'll be like 3 2 3 2 0 4 3 1 0 3 2 3 0 kind of thing. That's the fingering I'm thinking of for that last bar, but last 2 bars. But I'd like to have it in the music, so I may go ahead and, like I said, put it in like it's a lyric, so it'll be right under the 8th notes there and above the tab, and I may even put like it'll say fingering right before it or something like that. Okay. All right, so I'm going to sign off. I'm going to hit return on this Discord. I've just got 3 things here: strumming in different styles, musicality techniques, and slide basics. Boy, and Didn't we do slide? Did we do slide before? We did blues basics. Did we do slide before? I don't remember. Oh, we can't do pulls. Okay. Okay. So, I see your post, Dennis. So we'll, yeah, but Wednesday we'll continue on this song, and then you can practice it with the track, and you can slow it down. The B section is, like I said, pretty tough. I'm gonna have to shed it, meaning would shed it, at probably 150 to, I want to get the B section up to 150. I think that's beyond me at this moment, just because I'm kind of, where are we right now? We're at 150. Okay, so let me just see what we got here. Oh, I'm in. Hey, I know I'm in tune. Yeah, see, I thought so. So I think that would be redundant if we did intro to slide. We talked about songwriting too. That could be another thing. Talk about songwriting. That's such a broad subject. But we did talk about harmony, which we dealt with a little bit of songwriting. Let me go with my big thick pick and see if I can play this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh. Yeah, so I mean, I can kind of play it at that tempo. 200, let's say 175. It's still, still slow for this song. This song is a ripper. Yeah, I mean, I need to. I'm stressing way too much, so you want to get to the point where, I mean, if you look at my countenance, it's definitely not bored, disinterested. And you want to get to the point where you can play this whole thing and be completely bored and disinterested, looking, where's my coffee, kind of thing. So I'm definitely not there. And so I think it's interesting, but okay. Yep. Oh, what were the dates of the, that's a good question. Somebody will figure that out. Okay. So let's see. What am I going to, all right. Don't need that. All right. It's funny. I commented on the Rick Beato's Bieber Toto thing. I'm a huge Toto fan, a huge Bieber fan, and there's the new Bieber song. Basically, is note for note the chorus of a song that Toto did back in the late '80s, but didn't release until the '90s. And Beato did a really interesting comparison, and said, could this? He actually kind of implied that the melody, you could come up with the same melody. It's unlikely, but I don't think it was intentionally stolen. It was kind of one of those things. Oh, this is a cool melody, and it sounded cool because it was familiar. You'd heard it before or whatever. But Thanks, Bruce. Um, and uh, uh, but I made a comment basically saying, yeah, I've written many songs with Justin, and I'm always trying to sneak in because he's talking about how the simplicity of pop music. And I say, yeah, I'm always trying to sneak in little, you know, ninths and sevenths and sixths and flat nines and things like that, even augmented chords, diminished chords. Um, and Rick liked the comment and said, "Thanks, Tom." So that was pretty cool to have Rick acknowledge a meager YouTuber like myself. He's got 2 million subscribers. I'm like, oh my goodness. So anyway, God bless you all. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to end the stream now. We'll pick this up again we'll work on this B section on Wednesday. Okay. So take care of yourselves, stay safe, and have fun and practice. Practice, practice, practice.